Welcome back to High School Football Weekly. We are here at New Era Field. Frank Wolf, WNY Athletics. Tom Prince, WNY Athletics. Dick Gallagher, WGRZ High School Sports. You know, getting lost in the transition here of being down at New Era Field talking all these Section 6 championship games. We're forgetting a little bit about the Monsignor Martin playoffs. They kick off this weekend, too. And is there a bigger game than Canisius and St. Joe's? I mean, these 5 sectional games are huge. But then you got Canisius and St. Joe's. I'm kind of torn. Where do I want to go? What do I want to see? I'll be here, but hopefully I'll have someone from WNY Athletics covering that game for me. Timmy Wegman, our stats guy, will be there.
1
round
o'clock
2.
Saturday.
Yeah, and that's going to be one heck of a fight. Of course, Tom, we saw that first one. We worked together on that one. Dick, you were there. St. Joe's came out on top first time in I don't know how many years, 10, 12 years it was.
I think it was 10 games.
10 games. I'm sorry. You're right. 10 games. This will be nothing like the first one. I expect Canisius to be a lot more physical, a lot more pumped up for this one. I don't know how they're going to do on the injury. I know they got a couple injuries there, but still, I know it's going to be a different Canisius team St. Joe's runs into. But St. Joe's, they've got the confidence now. They know they can beat them. And those 2 edge rushers, the physical play of their line, some of those skill positions, Wisniewski, Klein. Man, this is going to be an awesome game. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Callum Withers has really got better every game. And if you take their receiving core with Klein, with LeMayo, they've got some speed. And I love watching the rivalry games because it's like smash mouth football. No one likes each other, and they play the game the way it should be played, and they give everything on the field because you can be 0-8, but if you beat your rival, that makes the season, and everyone is looking good. So I just think Micah Brown can be the big playmaker for St. Joe's on both sides of the ball to make a difference in this game.
What do you think, Tom?
Well, I'm going to look at line play. And I do, as most games, it'll be the first one I look at. First thing, it was almost over 100 degrees the first time they played. It'll be a completely different game, much cooler, and you're going to be able to see these lines play much differently than they did before. I thought going into the season, the advantage in line play was going to go to Canisius versus St. Joe's. I think St. Joe's has the advantage on lines, especially because Canisius, once they leave their heavy line and go smaller, St. Joe's will have the advantage on the line. What Canisius has got to do is step up on that small line and be able to have an impact with their smaller line when they sub out their bigs. That's going to be the first thing I'll look at line play. But I agree, if the line play wins, Brown is definitely going to be the difference in this game. But on the flip side, Canisius can run the ball. They can run the ball, and they've got some dynamic people that can run the ball from the quarterback and the running back perspective too. What I want to see from Canisius is put the ball in the air. If they have to put the ball in the air, can they do it and be successful putting the ball in the air?
They've got some weapons on the outside. McMillan, we haven't seen a whole lot of, but he's a tremendous receiver if they can get him the ball. But JoJo Dixon's been running the ball very well, and we already know Baker can run the ball.
To me, the key player for Canisius is C.J. Oslins. I saw a tape of him, and he just was unbelievable. He only carried the ball for 2 touchdowns this year, but he's like a bull in a china shop running. He is so quick. He reminded me of watching Pataki against, Bennett the other night. He wound up with 14 tackles, 4 pressures. He just was off the chart. And Oslin is that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he went Division I AA in college. He's that good.
So it should be another tremendous game, as it always is. This one is at St. Joe's on Kenmore Avenue. Get there early because parking will be tight. And if we can see how that might be streamed on NFHS. I know St. Joe's has a partnership with them, so you should be able to see that game on the NFHS network, or you can follow Timmy on Twitter or Monsignor Martin. Pete Schneider will probably tweeting out scores here and there. That's the other big game going on this weekend. We'll talk about that later down the road after we see who wins to see what, because St. Francis is waiting in the wings. And then the other game is St. Mary's and O'Hara, and the winner there will play Timon on the 16th, I believe, out at UB. We'll be there covering both of those games if they happen. So best of luck to those teams and the Monsignor Martin.